Hello, good evening everyone. It's almost 5 p.m. and it is Valentines-a-thon. So this is my little startup for the Valentines-a-thon reading vlog. Because I'm kind of indecisive, I decided that, hey, why not let my cats choose which book? So I put all 9 of them with small treats, and we'll see what my cats choose for me. So hi again. So my cat has chosen and Lucy picked Recommended for You. So this is the book I'm going to read first. And this is for the prompt Enemies to Lovers. It's about a girl who works at a bookstore, and their kind of boss says that if you're the staff member who sells the most books, you will get a bonus, a holiday bonus. And the only one standing in her way is this guy. So it's kind of like an enemies, rivals to lovers, so I'm into that. Then my second cat, Athena, she chose All the Rivers by Dorit Rabinyan, and this is a translated work, originally written in Hebrew, I believe. Dorit Rabinyan is an Israeli, so I assume she wrote it in Hebrew, I don't know. But it is about a forbidden love between an Israeli woman and a Palestinian man, and that is all I know about it. And this is for the prompt steamy romance, because I took my own little twist on the prompt and said, hey, I'm gonna read a book that could crash and burn, basically. And since this is a romance between an Israeli and a Palestinian, I felt like that would very much fit. So I'm going to read Recommended for You first, and then I'm going to read All the Rivers. Good morning. It's 8:33 on February 12, which means that we are on the second day of Valentines-a-thon. Since Valentines-a-thon begins at 9 p.m. for me, I consider a full day after the 10th. So all of 11th, all of 12th, all of 13th, all of 14th, and 15th as well, because I go to bed at 9 p.m. So that works fine for me. And as you saw, I started with, okay, this is the naked hardcover, but it's Recommended for You, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Wait, I'm gonna put the dust jacket on. Just wait a second. So here we have it, Recommended for You by Laura Silverman. And this book is phenomenal. It's so cute, and I didn't know this going into it, but Laura Silverman is a Jewish woman, and both Shoshana, the main girl, and the love interest Jake are both Jewish, and I think that's awesome. Honestly, I love the little like bits that Laura Silverman adds that has to do with Yiddish. Both of these characters speak Yiddish, and Shoshana has like what is it? Instead of like, oh my God, they say, oh my Hashem, something like that. And I love learning about those kinds of things, the little things that has to do with Jewish culture. La Kepalusa, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm so sorry. And I think that's awesome. Honestly, I think that's great. And this is just, other than that, like, this story is so beautiful. It's set in a bookstore. What could go wrong? It's a competition, and these two, their banter, their chemistry, it's just so good. And I absolutely adore both of them. individually and together, and I feel like they're awesome. And I have 60 pages left of the book, so I will finish it this morning. So I'm gonna finish this, tell you what I thought about it. But I just wanted to say that for the 2 books that my cats picked, recommended for you and All the Rivers, both books are written by a Jewish woman. And I don't know if the female character in this one is Jewish. I know that she is Israeli. So I don't know. Like, I don't assume that everyone living in Israel are Jewish. But she's Israeli, so there's like a connection. I know that Dorit Rabinyan is Jewish. So maybe the female character is Jewish. I don't know. I don't want to assume anything. But I thought that was really cool that the 2 books that my cats chose for me to start this readathon with are written by Jewish women. Like, I thought that was really fun. But I'm gonna get to finish recommended for you, and then I'll get back at you. So hello again. I finished recommended for you a few hours ago, so this is what the bingo board looks right now. And I am going to start All the Rivers by Dorit Rabinyan. And in just a little over 1 hour, there's biathlon. It's the biathlon World Cup at the moment in Slovenia, so I'm following it. So I will read, and in like commercial breaks and stuff like that, I will read and I will watch the biathlon. So I'm really excited for that. I will update you in a bit with how far along I am with this book.
Ja, vad kul. Vad kul. Och nu är Martin Ponsiluoma i stående skytte. Bra start. Vi sitter. Fjärde sitter för Martin Ponsiluoma. Han sätter alla 10! Martin Ponsiluoma sätter alla 10!
Vilken häftig dag det här är för Martin Ponsiluoma och hela det svenska laget som vi står och gläds med honom.
Ja, men verkligen. Och han är så värd det här och det är så himla häftigt att få se.
Hi, I just wanted to do a quick update. It is 16:20 sharp, so it is precisely 20 past 4 in the afternoon. I just watched the biathlon race and we won. And I don't know if you can see it, I've been crying a lot because it's the first Swedish gold medal in a World Cup on the men's side in 60 years. The guy who won is Martin Ponsiluoma, and he has fought for this. He has struggled a lot to get to this point, and he has had a lot of like issues with his shooting and stuff like that, and to have followed him and now he won gold. Wow. What a day to be Swedish, kind of. And I also want to give you an update on this book, which is All the Rivers by Dorit Rabinyan. And I am a few chapters in and I really enjoy it. The writing is like very gripping. Like I want to keep reading it, and I don't really want to put it down, but I put it down for the biathlon competition. And I think a lot of the fact that I just really enjoyed the writing has a lot to say about the author's ability to write, because this is a translated work. I just think that translations are usually very like difficult to get well, but this is a great book. I really enjoyed so far. And I just want to add about the author, Dorit Rabinyan, that I have mentioned that she is Israeli. I did not mention, or I didn't know at that time, that she is Israeli Iranian. So her parents were Jewish Iranian and they emigrated from Iran to Israel. And this story is loosely based on her own experiences, Dorit's experiences. So the main character is Liat, and her parents are also Iranian immigrants to Israel. So Jewish Iranians leaving Iran and goes to Israel in the 60s. So it's kind of loosely based on that. But I'm going to get reading and hopefully get to the half point by the end of the day. I still have a few hours left to read, so I'm gonna do that and I will update you later today. So hello everyone again. It is just 7 sharp in the evening, so 1900 hours, something like that. And I have done some more reading. I have passed 50 pages now, and the book is kind of addicting. The chapters are short, but they're very like vivid, and I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like artistic. The way Rabinyan describes everything is very like metaphorical and very vibrant, beautiful. I love the way it's written. It's like it keeps me engaged in the story, and it's not like anything I've ever read before. So I think that's very fun about that. What I didn't expect from this is that it's set in New York City, so it's set in the US. I don't know if it will go back to Israel or anything like that. They're in New York City, and that's where she meets the guy, the Palestinian guy, and that's all I'm going to tell all of you. But I noticed very quickly, unfortunately, that because I have been crying because Sweden got the first gold medal in 60 years. I'm still like when I think about that, I tear up and I'm like, oh my god, that happened. But because of that, my vision is kind of blurry. So it's difficult to focus with my eyes because I've been crying. So it's kind of like it takes more effort to focus on words because of that. So I decided, since it is 7 p.m., I decided I'm just gonna relax, watch a movie instead, and hopefully my eyes will clear up more later, so I will manage to read a few chapters before bed. So that is my little plan, but I will update all of you tomorrow. Hey, good morning. It's 12:30, so it's not morning anymore. I have been up since 8 reading. I am currently at around 170 pages, I believe. So I will definitely finish this in a few hours, I think. And then I will start a new book, and I will let you know when I finish it and what my thoughts are. But in a few hours there is another biathlon race. This time it's the women doing it, and so I'm gonna watch that as well. But I am still going to continue reading. I really enjoyed it so far. It's very interesting. Well, like, it is kind of what I expected. There is a lot of discussions regarding the politics of Israel and Palestine. A lot of like discussion between Palestinians and the main character who is Israeli. And as someone who knows absolutely nothing about that conflict that's going on currently in Israel and that region, it's very interesting to learn about both sides of the story, both perspectives on the future and the whole conflict. And I also really enjoy the fact that this is written by an Israeli. This woman is Israeli. But yeah, I'm gonna read a few more chapters, watch the biathlon race, and I will let you know later. Hi, it's 17:30 and I just finished All the Rivers, and I have feelings about this. Because like the ending, like what? I don't know what to say, honestly. I really enjoyed this book. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars on Goodreads. I mean, like, it's a book that I will think about for years to come, I think. Like, the whole story And I also would like to say that I really enjoyed the fact that she had both sides, both perspectives on the conflict, and like their thoughts on it and stuff like that. And not at a single point did one person convince the other side that their perspective is the right one. And I like that it wasn't done that way. I know that a lot of stories where you have like two conflicting perspectives on a conflict usually ends up convincing the other side. So I really enjoyed the fact that each character had their perspective and they owned that perspective, and they didn't at any point completely change their perspective. And I think that was a good choice to do, because she is an Israeli woman, the author. So I feel like if she have Liat, our main character, convince the Palestinians that the Israeli perspective is the correct one, I feel like that would have disrespectful, I think, kind of. So I think the most respectful thing that she could have done is what she did. Let them have their perspectives and let them discuss it and share their sides and have it kind of like a discussion, and that discussion never goes anywhere. Like there's never a conclusion or anything like that. They just keep their perspectives. And I think that's something that was really, really interesting with this, that really shows Israel from an Israeli and a Palestinian perspective. And I think that was very interesting, like how two people from the same country, living in the same country, have completely different views on the country. And I think that's interesting. And I think, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna think about this for a while, and I am still like in shock of that ending. Like what is, well, I am confused. But it is, as I said, 1730, so I think I'm gonna pick out another book. I think I'm gonna read Check Please, Sticks and Scones, which is the second book in the Check Please duology. So I think I'm gonna pick that up, and once I finish that, I think I'm gonna watch a movie, take it easy, and then start reading something else tomorrow. I will update you later when I start or finish Check Please. Hi, good evening again. I started Check Please book 2, Sticks and Scones, and it is absolutely magnificent. I finished the first part, so I'm halfway through, and I decided since it's 8 p.m. I thought I could treat myself to a movie and kind of watch a rom-com or something like that. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and I will read the rest of the book tomorrow. I'm really excited to start the second, but I felt like it would be kind of nice to stop after the first part, or otherwise I would be up a long time. So I feel like it's kind of nice to have that tomorrow, so I can just tomorrow, which is the last part of the Check Please duology, and that is kind of, I want to savor it, you know, I want to savor it. So I'm gonna watch a rom-com, take it easy, and I will update all of you tomorrow for the next to last day. Yeah, something like that. I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. So I finished Check Please yesterday, so last night I finished Check Please. I gave it 4 stars, absolutely adore it. So this is what my bingo board looks at the moment. So I just thought I would take you all through the rest of the books that I had planned to read, and I still have, as you can see, I still have to read some books. But I have all of today and all of tomorrow to do it, so I'm not worried. I have Star-Crossed, which I would really enjoy reading this book, but the prompts I have left are pink on the cover. I mean, okay, yeah, it has pink on the cover. I didn't notice that before, but this has pink on the cover. It does not have love in the title, and it is not paranormal or fantasy. So it would only fit one prompt, which is pink on the cover. Then we have something to talk about, which is another book I really look forward to reading, and it only fits the prompt pink on the cover because it doesn't have love in the title and it is not a paranormal. It is kind of like a friends to lovers. There's this scandal between an actress and her assistant. It's a female romance, so I'm really excited to get to it. But the only prompt it fits is pink on the cover. And this one, I am so sad that it doesn't fit any of the prompts, and it is Last Night at the Telegraph Club. And this is still one of my most anticipated reads of 2021. Anticipated releases. It came out in January, so I'm really excited to get to it. But I think since it does not have pink on the cover, it does not have love in the title, and it is not paranormal fantasy, I had planned to have this on rom-com, which is a story that will make you cry, because I'm pretty sure this story will make me cry. But since my cats chose for me, Recommended for You, and All the Rivers, those two are the books that I started with, so those two books are doubled up, which means All the Rivers took rom-com's spot because I can't really read another full book. Like, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my time with this book and not feel kind of rushed or stressed to finish it because of a readathon, you know? So this I'm gonna savor later, but I'm not gonna read this for Valentines-a-thon. And then we have a book that I have to read because it's the only book I have with love in the title. So I Believe in a Thing Called Love. Both fits the love prompt and pink on the cover. Kind of sensing a theme here. A lot of books that I can read will have pink on the cover, but they also only fit one prompt, which is pink on the cover. This fits both prompts. So if I read this, I have pink on the cover and love in the title, so I need to read this because it's the only book I have with love in the title. So this book I have to read. And the next book is another book that I have to read, and it is Gumio, Wicked Fox. And this is also a book that fits pink on the cover, and it also is the only book that fits Saint Valentine, that prompt, because this is the only paranormal book that I have that is romance. So this book I have to read, and I Believe in a Thing Called Love also I have to read. So with those two books, I have pink on the cover, love in the title, and fantasy paranormal. So with those two books, the bingo board is filled up. But there is one last book that I had on my Valentine's TBR video, Valentines-a-thon TBR video, and it is Date Me Bryson Keller. And I am so excited to get to this, but unfortunately I can't get to this for this readathon. But as with Last Night at the Telegraph Club, I'm gonna take my time with this. This will be a quick read. Also, I love the fact that it's Sweden. Like, this is the Swedish flag. It's the yellow and the blue. So this is the Swedish flag. And it is red and yellow as in the German flag, but it does not have black on it. Like, the only thing missing for this cover is if it had black. If the letters had been black instead of white, both my country's flags would fit. I think that would be kind of cool. But this, I'm really excited to get to this book, but I'm gonna do it later in this week after Valentines-a-thon. So my focus right now is to read Gumio and I Believe in a Thing Called Love. I think I'm gonna start with this as it is shorter. I think this will be a quicker read. So I'm gonna start with this. And then I have the rest of the day after I finish I Believe in a Thing Called Love, I have Gumio. And I will probably finish it tomorrow. But something that I think is very, very nice about Valentines-a-thon is the fact that it ends at 9 p.m. for me. Because it is between 3 p.m. EST, so Eastern Standard Time. I think is what this stands for. So at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's when the Valentines-a-thon started, and that is when Valentines-a-thon will end tomorrow. And because 3 p.m. EST is 9 p.m. Central European time, I have until the evening. I have like until the last minute before I have to go to bed to read. So I think that's, so because of that, I don't feel worried. I am working tomorrow, but I think something that I could do if I feel like I have to, I can just get Gumio Wicked Fox as an audiobook, so I can listen to it on the way to work and from work. But other than that, I think I will manage to read those 2 books. But now I'm gonna get to reading. So as I said, I'm gonna start with I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and I will update you later. So hi, a little quick update. It is around 11 now, and I am 70 pages into I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and I really enjoy this. I love K-dramas, so this is the recipe for success. And I really enjoy, she has kind of like, the main character is Desi. She has flailures, I don't know how to pronounce that, flailures, which is flirting failures. So she is kind of a flirting wreck. She's never really dated, and every single time that she's interested in a guy, she messes it up big time. And so, and her dad, she has a single dad, her mom is dead, and her dad is obsessed with K-dramas. He is a Korean immigrant, so he loves K-dramas, and Desi is kind of, after something goes terribly with a guy, she decides, hey, I'm gonna watch K-dramas with my dad, and they have like this set step towards happily ever after. Like, all K-dramas have this kind of formula depending on the genre. So she watched a lot of rom-coms and came up with like a 20-step program kind of which will lead to her happily ever after in a relationship with this guy, and it's really interesting. As I said, I love K-dramas. I have mostly watched dramatic K-drama or romantic K-dramas. I really enjoy K-dramas, so this is very, very fun for me. And I realized when I started reading it that this is based on K-drama, and I've heard that Gumio reads like a K-drama. So I'm like, I started this whole vlog thing, I started Valentines-a-thon with 2 books by Jewish women about Jewish women. The main character of those 2 books were Jewish women, one of which was Israeli and the other was American, but both were set in the US. So I just thought it was funny that the first 2 books were about Jewish women, and the last 2 books have to do with K-drama. I just felt that was very like funny. I didn't think of that at all. So, but I'm gonna continue reading this. But I took a little break and I checked Twitter, and now I am a mess because Benjamin Alirezans, he put up a tweet and he announced Aristotle and Dante in the oceans of the world, something like that. And I'm like, we have a date now, a release date for that book. I thought it was going to be There Will Be Other Summers, because that's the name that it has been on Goodreads for ever since he said that he was going to do a sequel. But now it's something else, and it is October 12th is the preliminary release date, and I am so excited, like, honestly, and I am really excited to read it. Like, I think that will be, I'm just really excited about that book. So I am a little bit like my thoughts are kind of racing all over the place because that book is getting a sequel this year. Like, we have a name, We have a title of the book, we have a release date, maybe soon we'll have a cover reveal. Who knows? But I'm really excited about that. But I'm gonna continue this book. Hopefully I will be at over 100 pages by the time that the biathlon race begins, which is in about an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this and update you in a bit. Good evening. It's just turning 7 p.m. and I am 200 pages into I Believe in a Thing Called Love, so I only have like 100 pages left. So now I think I'm gonna just take a break from reading, watch a movie, eat some dinner, you know, take it a little bit easy, and then I think I'm gonna read 1 or 2 more chapters before bed. Then tomorrow I'm going to work and hopefully I will be able to finish this. But I also have Gumio and I'm going to get the audiobook for Gumio so I can listen to that while walking to and from work. So if that feels okay. I don't really know, but I think if everything goes according to plan, I will only have like 50 pages left of this book at the end of today. So I will go into tomorrow with like 50 pages left of this book and all of Gumio. So that is the plan. But now I am going to take it easy, take a break from reading a little bit, and I will update you tomorrow for the last day of this weekend reading vlog, Valentines-a-thon vlog thingy. So yeah, good night. So good morning, it's the last day of Valentines-a-thon and it is 7:40 and I am off to work. My plan is to listen to Gumio on the way to and from work, and then when I get back I will finish I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and then when I finish that I'm going to finish Gumio. Like, that's the plan. But yeah, I'm off to work and I will update you when I get back. Hey, I just came home from work. It's 12:30 and I am around 70 pages into Gumio Wicked Fox. So I listened to this only to work and from work. So I am, as I said, 70 pages in. I have a long way to go, but I'm gonna continue reading this, I think, and finish this, and then finish I Believe in a Thing Called Love. I have the rest of the afternoon. I am very tired. As you can see, it's around -16, -17 outside. So like I'm very like short of breath because of that. I'm gonna update you in a bit when I'm a little bit further into this book. So hello again, it's almost 7 in the evening and I just finished Gumio Wicked Fox. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the kind of like, there are small, I don't really know what to call them, but there are like some pages have these kind of historical or mythological descriptions of like the mythology. They're just like pages with specifically like excerpts from mythologies, what it reads as, and I think that's really cool to have like those tales incorporated. And yeah, as I said, I really enjoyed this. I do enjoy the romance of it. The only thing that I didn't like was that on this, I don't know if you can see it, but it says the blurb is "Her life is in his hands, his heart is in hers, 100 days to choose who lives." And I thought that that was going to be a big part of the book, but it's not. It's like, I don't know, the last 100 pages or something like that. So I was just like, when I started, I was like, when are we getting there? Like, they met, they fell in love, really cute, but that thing, this sentence that really hooked me, and I was like, oh my god, the drama of that. So I thought we would get like the back, you know, the summary on the back. I don't know if it has a specific term for it, but on the back it explains a little that she is a Gumio and that it is a nine-tailed fox who survives by consuming the energy of men, which I think is really cool. Since she has to kill humans, she decided that I'm gonna kill humans who have done bad things. And I think that's really, really cool. And it also says, like, on the back, it explains this is when she's going to meet this guy called Ji-hoon. By the way, the main character is called Mi-young. Should have mentioned that earlier, I'm sorry. Like, that is the only thing that I'm kind of disappointed by. Because, like, that sentence, her life is in his hands, his heart is in hers. 100 days to choose who lives. Okay, that's 2 sentences. But that line is just like, that could be a complete Korean, like a K-drama, like a full-on K-drama, 15 episodes, 1 hour long episodes. Totally, like 100 days is a long time. So I felt like it would be really cool to have, like, you know, so that's what I expected. So I was kind of, while reading it, I was kind of like, when are we getting there? And then 100 pages in, when are we getting there? 200 pages in, okay, when are we getting there? And so that's the thing that I would say is what made this less enjoyable, because I was I was constantly waiting for that thing to happen, because as it is on the front page, which I know is not Kat Cho's choice, she did not design this, but since it is on the front page, just under the title and above the author's name, I assumed, okay, this is going to be a big part of the book, but it's not. And I think that's really what made it like a disappointment for me. So I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I think if I didn't constantly wait for something to happen, and like if I had known that that line, that this little blurb, I don't know if it's a blurb, but this line on the front that is kind of like a teaser, if it had not been there, I think I would have enjoyed this a lot more, because I wouldn't have expected the story to kind of revolve around that. So I think when I reread it, I will enjoy it a lot more, because I will go into it without expecting that. But as I said, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoy like the Korean aspect of it. This is what the bingo board looks like right now, since I finished Gummy Wicked Fox first, like out of this one and the other one I'm currently reading. I have Gumiho as the pink cover, which means that the only prompt left on the board is the book with love in the title. So I have like 50 pages left of I Believe in a Thing Called Love. I have 2 hours until this is like over, so I do think that I'm going to finish the book within those 2 hours. But no more procrastinating, no more dragging this out. I'm gonna continue I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and then I will update you. Hey, so I'm back. It's 20:56, so 4 minutes to 9, which means that I did it. I just finished I Believe in a Thing Called Love with 4 minutes to spare, which means that I filled the entire bingo board. I got maximum amount of bingos. So that was very exciting. So that is 5 books. Yeah. I honestly am very like proud that I stuck to it. And setting up like my cats picking the first 2 books might have been a bad decision afterwards. Like now in retrospect, that might have been a bad decision, but that means that there are 4 books on my Valentines-a-thon TBR that I have not read, and I think I'm going to just take my time with those and really savor all of these, especially last night at the Telegraphs Club. I really look forward to reading that one, and I want to take my time with it because I think it's going to be great, and I don't want to stress to have like that, you know, time crunch, you know what I mean? I don't want to read on a deadline when it's like that book. I want to just take my time with it, you know. But I finished I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and I have thoughts. I was thinking kind of like I do really enjoy, just like Gumiho, I totally see the K-drama thing in this. I mean, it is based, like, the main character sets up a list of more than 20 steps to get like a romantic endgame based off of K-dramas. The entire book reads as a K-drama, even though it is planned steps of a K-drama. You know what I mean? If I'm honest, which I always am, like very, very quickly into this book, I felt like, okay, this is a car crash. This is like a car crash. I'm reading this because it's a car crash. Like what I said about all the rivers, that I put it on steamy romance because it could crash and burn. This book should have taken that prompt, honestly, because this was a car crash. So it could definitely crash and burn. And I was thinking, like, if this was a K-drama, if this was an actual K-drama, would I have finished it? And I don't think so. Like, I'm very specific, I think. There are certain things that I'm just like cringe, like so cringy that I'm like, nope, I cannot do this. So there are several K-dramas that I started watching that I enjoyed, but then it was like cringy, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna overlook this, and then cringy again, and okay, I'm gonna overlook it, and then cringy again, and I was like, okay, damn it, I'm gonna stop. So I have stopped. I have like DNF'd a lot of K-dramas because of that, and that goes for like a lot of shows, like not just K-dramas, but because this book is surrounding like K-dramas, and K-dramas is like a big part of the book, that's why I compare it to the K-dramas that I've watched. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars because of enjoyment. I mean, I really enjoyed this book, and it had me like glued to the pages, and I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? Like K-drama fashion, you know. Am I going to reread it at some point? No. Probably not. I'm happy that I read it. I'm happy that I have read it now, and I'm going to give it 4 stars. But the main character did some very irredeemable things and very questionable things that I feel like should not. The ending was just, it didn't make sense to me. Like, it went a little bit too fast. Like, I understand Luca's perspective, and like, I love Luca. Luca is an amazing character. He's an amazing love interest, and he deserved better. At least he deserved, like, I wish there would have been like more chapters at the end where she really redeems herself and proves to him that she's not, that she has learned, you know. That's what I want. That's what I wanted. And I thought after he figured out, like, after he found out, like, that is a very obvious thing going into this, that he will find out. Like, it is very clear that she's doing like the K-drama steps to success, that he will find out. Like, that is the premise of a novel, especially like a romance novel. At the end with a climax, it's usually like a breakup thing. So it was just, you knew basically that it was going to happen. It was just, you know, it just, after he did that, I thought that she was going to be like, oh shit, I did this and everything that he said is true and I can't believe I did this. And she ends up doing it again. And I'm like, girl, have you learned nothing, you know? But anyways, giving it 4 stars, and I will put it on my shelf. I don't know which color to put it in. Like yellow or, okay, pink, because it has pink down there, so the main blob of color on this spine is pink, so I'm gonna put it at pink. But yeah, so that was it for my Valentines-a-thon reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed, and please leave a like if you do, and I'll see you next time. Good reading. Bye.